What do you think of when you hear the word percent? Anything you could think of when you hear percent? Yes. You think of decimal. Good. We can turn a percent into a decimal. What else? Fraction. Very good. Yes. Excellent. That should be the first thing that should come to your mind. Percent is out of 100. Good. Ratio. We can write a percent as a ratio. Yes, Mark?
Sale.
Shh. You think of sale. Excellent. They're way better than period one. Don't tell them. Oops, I recorded it. Equivalent fraction. Equivalent fractions are related to percent. Yep. Discount. Good. And it's called what now? HST. What's the percent? Anyone know? 13%. We're going to talk about that more tomorrow. Anything else you want to add to our list? Savings. And we can also link that to budget. Who here knows what a budget is? Okay, we have 96%. What's the second one? Yep. Sorry? 9%. Good. And grid 3? 77%. If we have 96% and I want to know what that is as a fraction, we just discussed this earlier. What is percent always out of? 100. So what would this be as a fraction? 96 over 100. What I want you to do right now is put that into lowest terms. How did you get that? You divided 96 and 100 both by 4. We know that they're both divisible by 4. And we end up with 24 out of 25. How do we turn a percent into a decimal? There's two ways we can do this. We can go from a percent straight to a decimal, or we can go from a fraction to a decimal. You should get the same answer regardless because these are equivalent. From a percent to a decimal, we take this 96% and all you have to do is divide by 100. In other words, 96 can be written as 96.0, right?
Yeah.
What's one way that you could do this quickly in your head? Dividing by 100, there's 2 zeros here. What do I do? Yep. Move 2 decimal places to the left. We end up at 0.96. The second way, if we want to go from a fraction, okay, 24 to 25 is still 96%, right? How do you turn a fraction into a decimal? Divide the numerator, so 24 divided by 25, and you should still result in 0.96 because these are all equivalent, okay? I want you to do the next two on your own. What is that as a fraction in lowest terms? 9 out of 100. Can that be reduced? And as a decimal, 0.09. Very important. If I wrote 0.90, that is 90%. Okay? And finally, the last one, 77%. Is that lowest terms? Lowest terms. And as a decimal, Elijah, 0.77. As an example, you might see this when you notice something's on sale and you need to calculate the discount. We're going to talk about this a little more tomorrow. So for example, you see a pair of shoes and they are regularly $79.99, but now they're on sale for
40%.
That's a lot. Let's do 20%. Okay? So we want to know, well, if they're on sale for 20% off, I want to know what is 20% of that price. How much am I saving? We need to know how to calculate percent of a number. Well, first of all, what does of mean in math? What operation? Multiplication. I need to figure out what 20% is as what. How do I write 20% to calculate this? So we have 20% of $79.99. I know that I need to multiply. What do I need to do with this 20% to calculate it? What would you type in on your calculator? We need to turn it into a decimal. We just did this. How do you turn 20% into a decimal? divide, move the decimal 2 places to the left, 0.20. I want everyone to calculate this right now. What is 20% of $79.99? Ashton? Okay, did everyone get 15.99? $15.99. So you're saving approximately $16.
That's good.
$16 you would be saving.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.